Writing my life story was kind of strange in some ways, and it was very challenging. But I've always been, as my wife describes me, a bit of a last lap Larry. So I tend to do everything last minute, and everything tends to get done off the top of my head. So I would spend probably full weekends sometimes just writing the whole chapters, and some weekends I'd get 15, 20,000 words done in a weekend, which was challenging. I'd end up going to bed about 4 in the morning, back up at 8 to keep going. I didn't really involve my wife, Jews, in the process of writing. I just sat down and wrote it. I don't think she's actually read the book yet. She will have done possibly by the time that people see this, but Jesus just kind of left me to get on with it, because you know the way I operate, and that is that it's all down to me, and I get down there, and I was determined that I would write every word, because it's my story, not someone else's, and also that it gave me more freedom to say what I wanted to say and to exclude what I didn't want to include. I think the main surprise for me was actually remembering so much as I was writing, and being at the grand old age of 42. It was something that it's a long time ago. Some of what I've written is 30 odd years ago, and I've got a better memory than I thought. It's strange how, as you write about things, how other things come back to you. Well, I think that from writing the book, I mean, and thinking about how sometimes people talk about me as being courageous. I've never seen myself as courageous, and looking back through things that have happened to me in my life, I feel at times even less courageous, because I was never very good at standing up for myself, and I'm not sure that's changed a lot. I think that my story is testament. If you just keep on going, it's not about being dramatic. It's not about walking up with a sword in your hand like St. George slaying a dragon. It's about just getting past each day, and that's how I've generally dealt with life. And with the bullying and other things that I went through, I had to get past each day. It wasn't a matter of taking each day as it comes in a positive way. It was a matter of just getting through each day, no matter what it threw at me, which at times was incredibly difficult for me. When you've got somebody trying to throw you through a window and throwing bricks at you, and you pull yourself out of it, and you end up with a scar on your head because you hit a window. When you think about going through things like that, you wonder why did people pick you out, and so when good things happen, you challenge yourself and ask yourself why it's happening to you. So there are some very dark places that my life has been in, but I've just had to get through them. And do I see myself as courageous? Not really. There's a whole soundtrack album for the film as well, which I've recorded the music for, and also a greatest hits album. There's quite a lot coming out this year actually, and then I have recorded a new album which is due for release sometime next year. Touring 6 years on, I've done 450 plus shows in the last 5 years, and it still scares the living daylights out of me. Nothing's changed there. I think that if it stopped scaring me, then it would stop meaning anything to me, and it's not a feeling I enjoy, but butterflies and nerves, they're necessary for you to perform. The only way I deal with it to manage it is to be more last lap than I normally am, and get to the stage as late as I possibly can, so I don't have time to think about it, because that's one of my main problems, is that I tend to overthink things sometimes, so I make it a bigger obstacle than it needs to be.